So the next secret, if you will, that I want to talk about, and again, I'm going to give you the tagline for it. If you're taking notes, reconciliation begins with education. Okay? Reconciliation begins with education. And this gets missed. Once again, let me go back to the counseling thing for a second. If you are in, again, marriage counseling, and they are not teaching you certain concepts about betrayal and trauma, then you're going to stay stuck. A true reconciliation, building a better marriage on the other side of betrayal, requires education first. It's the foundation, all right? And when I'm working with people, and Camilla as well, we always start with the basics. Now, if you're taking notes, I'm going to talk about 3 things now. And it might sound absolutely ludicrous, but bear with me. I said, some of the things you're going to hear today, you might go, who is this lady? But there's a rhyme and a reason to all of it, okay? So I'm going to talk about 3 things. I'm going to talk about evolution. I'm going to talk about biology. And I'm going to talk about neuroscience. So I'm going to talk about evolution, biology, and neuroscience. Because if we do not have a very clear understanding of these 3 things, you're not going to heal after betrayal. So let me start with evolution. Why is it important to go back to whatever it was, 6th grade social studies class and understand evolution? Because everything that both people, unfaithful and betrayed, are experiencing is rooted in evolution, the brain and the nervous system. So when I teach about evolution, I guess that's the best way to put it. What I want to tell people is that when we are in any sort of a dangerous situation, doesn't matter if it's real or not, and I'll talk about that in a second, doesn't matter if it's a real threat or a perceived threat. Our body, our brain basically puts us into what we call survival mode. And most of us have heard of these terms, especially the betrayed partners who've been Googling and researching this, right? We all kind of heard about this fight-flight mode, and then there's freeze and fawn. But let's just stick with fight-flight for now. So whenever the human body detects any type of danger, it goes into fight-flight mode, survival mode. The only way that it comes out of survival mode is when the threat is gone. That's it. That's evolution. That's how we're designed. Nobody is changing that in the next, I don't know, million years. Maybe we'll evolve down the road, but for our lifetime and our kids' and grandkids' lifetimes, this is what we've got. So the brain has one job, and that job is to scan our environment for danger in order to keep us alive. That's it. That's the brain's job. Look around. If there's anything dangerous, send a message, keep me alive. It's primal. It's evolution. This is where it gets interesting. The brain evolved with this beautiful design of being able to perceive danger, to predict danger. And it happened on purpose, because if the brain didn't evolve this way, we would not have survived. Now, bear with me. Again, if you're kind of sitting here going, what the heck is she talking about? What I'm doing is explaining triggers to both the betrayed and the unfaithful partners, okay? But let's go back to evolution. Let's go back to the Neanderthal days, right? When humans started living in groups and hunting for food, things like that. So I'm just going to use caveman. I hope that doesn't offend anybody. So let's say there's a caveman and he's out there and he's hunting for food, and all of a sudden there's a woolly mammoth and the guy dies. Boom, dead. Woolly mammoth kills him. We wouldn't have survived much longer, right? If that happened to every caveman who went out hunting. eventually the human species would have died because they all would have gotten killed by the woolly mammoth. So the brain evolved with this brilliant way of detecting danger. So this is what happened to the caveman. The first time the caveman went out, he heard something in the rustling of the trees, maybe some pounding on the ground. It's the woolly mammoth coming, right? Coming toward him. The brain evolved and memorized those things. The brain memorized that noise, that rustling of the leaves, and it memorized that pounding on the ground and stored it in the nervous system. It memorized it and stored it so that the next time the caveman went out, when he heard rustling in the leaves, he ran. He didn't wait for the woolly mammoth to come up on him, kill him, and then he would die. When he heard pounding, right, he would run because he knew that could potentially be the woolly mammoth and I need to get out of here now. So the brain did this wonderful thing, and it gave us the ability to predict potential threats. And without this, we would not be here. Now, let me give you the example, and I use this example a lot because it's just so perfect, and I love the movie Jaws. But imagine the movie Jaws, right? Imagine the first time you ever saw the movie Jaws, and you jumped, right? During all those scenes, you got the music, and then you got the big scene, the shark comes out. Everybody jumps. Why? Why do we jump? There's no shark. There is no water. We're not in a boat on the ocean. So why do we jump? For that exact thing that I just told you about the woolly mammoth. The brain is detecting potential danger, so we jump. Now, the good news is, as soon as that scene is over, our nervous system regulates itself. We take a breath, we laugh, right? And then the movie goes on. But for that instant, we went into survival mode because the brain detected potential danger.